Tip of the cap to South Carolina. They totally outplayed us in every facet today. They swung the bats very well. They completely shut us down offensively. Mahoney pitched well, but Hicks out of the bullpen I thought was really one of the players of the game for them. He just good running fastball, and just we had no answers for him, and thought we made a lot of soft contact with less than 2 strikes, and just really couldn't get any momentum going offensively. So not much to say other than they straight up beat us, and not gonna make excuses about it. We're just gonna get better. Sucks, hate losing, but they outplayed us and outcoached us, and they were the better team today. There was no question about it from anyone that was watching, and we just need to find a way to be much more competitive than that, and that's the bottom line.
Hey, did you feel like with a short-handed pitching staff, y'all going to need to put up a decent amount of runs to have a chance?
Look, we're never going to make excuses about injuries. Nobody cares about your injuries, and we can overcome some injuries. That's not the issue. And we put up plenty of runs yesterday, and we really shot our shot yesterday to try to clinch the series then, and it didn't work out for us in the end yesterday, but I thought coming in here today we would have a better response, but it just didn't have answers for him. We knew it was going to be one of those days where we would use a lot of guys in short stints, and we were hoping that having a different guy go out there every time through the order would hold them down, but it didn't. They teed off on some balls. They got some really good swings off. Obviously, the 3 home runs, but even the outs were loud. Multiple balls hit to the fence. So they were just on the barrel all day, and credit to their offense. They really did some damage, and we didn't.
How much not having Bryce hurt you pitching wise, or maybe if he was going to play in the field?
We could have used him on the mound today for sure, but that's no excuse. We'll use him as a pitcher moving forward, but that had nothing to do with anything offensively, and had nothing to do with our ability to get ahead of hitters today. They took some big hacks when they were ahead in the count, and I thought that was what good offenses do. They get in advantage counts, and they let it rip, and they took some rips. And conversely for us, we were in less than 2 strike counts and made some weak, just didn't have that same thump in the bat, and that's one thing we'll work on this week, is being a lot more aggressive on balls to smash with less than 2 strikes, and that's part of our offensive philosophy. Anyways, we just were facing some really good pitching today. I thought Hicks was, that fastball, the way it was running, when compared with the slider, and he just was on. He was really good. So he had our number today. It's the tip of the cap to that.
Your eyes just out for one game?
I don't know. We'll see. We don't condone that type of behavior, and tell our guys, we've said it from day one, this is part of the neck up stuff. We're not that bad that we need every call from the umpire. So we'll address that internally with the team. I don't know what the answer to that question is, but I do not like our body language on calls that don't go our way from the umpiring crew, and that's something we'll improve on.
I think you've kind of already addressed some of it, but what's the most positive things you've seen this many games in, and what things are most concerning to you?
Well, there's just bright spots, and there's good and bad in every game, they're finding the bright spots in a game like today, maybe a little bit harder to do. Love the tempo that Casey Talent pitched with, but I think we have some guys that we can definitely count on the mound. I mean, Austin Gordon and Tristan Smith, the way they pitched this weekend as starters without Ryan Ammons available for a couple weeks, they gave us the type of starts to help us win games. The way Casey Talent and Jackson Lindley pitched, for the most part today, but especially on Friday, those guys have been, very, very good bullpen weapons for us as well. It's finding the other pieces in the bullpen that. And this is part of the figuring it out process early on, and we will. I firmly believe that if we played yesterday's game a month from now, we find a way to close that down in the late innings. I just think we would. So we're figuring it out as coaches, and this as much as it sucks to really not be playing our best baseball and lose a big rivalry weekend like this and drop the games we dropped last week. It's going to make us better. It's going to callous our mind and build that resiliency so that as we get into the games moving forward, especially ACC play, we'll have a much better chip on our shoulder. We'll be much more competitive, and we'll have some things figured out with some roles. Roles are always changing. They're always evolving, and it's on us as coaches to put our guys in the right spots to have success for the team.
Despite the outcome for the weekend, as the first-time head coach in this series, what did you think of the weekend and the way this rivalry played out?
It's exactly as I remember it, and it's exactly up to its billing as the best rivalry in college baseball. And it was awesome on Friday. It was awesome atmosphere yesterday. It was awesome atmosphere today. I mean, this is why you go to Clemson. It's why their players go to South Carolina. It's why kids who want the biggest stage and the brightest lights, it's why they pick these two schools, because you just it's hard to find this type of intensity and atmosphere anywhere else, and it's awesome.
What are your thoughts on South Carolina? Just seeing them kind of.
I think they're a very good team. I don't see any reason why they can't do very well in the SEC and make a deep run. They got excellent starting pitching. I don't know how to pronounce the kid's name that pitched in relief on Friday, but I thought his breaking ball, Jerzenbeck, apologies for mispronouncing that, but I thought he was excellent. I thought the Hicks kid tonight was excellent, and then obviously their offense. They definitely have a plan to get to lift the ball and get the head out and get in good counts and get their best swing off, and they did that in the final 3 innings yesterday, and they did that all day today. So that really worked out for them, and that's what's disappointing is that we didn't have those answers, especially the last 3 innings yesterday and then throughout the game today. But it's good offense, and I think that's a team that with their starting pitching, with their key bullpen arms, the 3 guys who threw in relief yesterday were good too, plus their offense. It's a good team. There's no reason why they can't make a deep run.
Barlow, was he on a pretty strict count today?
Yeah, he's still not 100%. He's still making his way back, so we were hoping he could give us 2, and he did, and it's just good to see him back out there, but he's not all the way back yet.
Is he a guy you plan on using mostly in the pen this year?
Well, he started last year, started plenty of games, and in the fall he was up to 95, 96, and came back with a little bit of shoulder discomfort after Christmas break, and so we're still trying to figure out exactly what's going on there, but we'll get our finger on it and figure it out and get him back to healthy, because when he's 100%, he's a true weapon. He's got a good turbo sinking fastball and a good slider, and he's a very good pitcher. So we definitely would have liked to have used him more than we have these first 3 weeks. So it'll be good to get him back.
Cam, I know you talked about him some earlier this weekend with this winning the MVP awards. What do you think of the way he played?
Yeah, Cam has been, Cam's been doing this since the fall, since the preseason. He's very consistent, maybe our most consistent performer. Just has a knack to put the barrel on the ball. He's just a tremendous athlete. Coach Bellinger says he's one of the toughest players on our team to call pitches against in our inner squads, and we've seen that so far these first 3 weeks as well. He finds a way to hit the ball hard. And I think that has a lot to do with just the strength he has from the neck up. He is poised. It is not moving fast for him. He's got a slow heartbeat for the game. The moment never seems too big. He doesn't seem rattled. We define mental toughness as the ability to stay in the middle, to stay neutral, to stay centered, and he does that as well as anyone. And it's especially impressive to be able to do that as a freshman.